Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin, this is my co-host Teddy, and today we're checking out a very special keyboard. It's the Drevo Blademaster Pro. Now you guys might be thinking, well Kevin, I remember a while back you tested out a Blademaster. Isn't this the same thing? Well, back then I tested out a prototype for one, and that was the non-pro model, so this is the Blademaster Pro. So this is actually the most funded keyboard in crowdfunding history, and it's being positioned by Drevo as the ultimate keyboard. So let's check it out and see if it actually is. Let's start with the design then. And design-wise, you'll notice that compared to the regular Blademaster, it's pretty similar. There's not a huge amount of difference with it there. I mean, I thought the original was a nice keyboard in terms of the design. So, of course, this one I'm going to also say is nice in terms of the design. I wouldn't say it's, especially with the lighting off, it's nothing super stunning, I would say, in the sense that stunning's the wrong word. Maybe eye-catching would be the better word. It's not one of those super gamery type ones that you're like, whoa, what's that? That's not a bad thing, though. You guys know me, the long-time viewers definitely will, that I don't like the super gamery, gimmicky-looking ones. I prefer the more minimalistic ones. And so I really like the design of this for that reason. It looks really, really good. Now, it has the Genius knob on the side. We'll talk about this a bit more later, but this is something that I do really like. It opens up a lot of possibilities for productivity and for gaming, so that's really good. You can connect this via, cable like normal, and it's wireless as well with Bluetooth. That's really cool, and I think a lot of people appreciate that. The fact that you have an option there, you don't have to use a cable if you don't feel like it. So that's good. I didn't see any latency issues either with the Bluetooth. Of course, it'll go on battery when you're using Bluetooth, so you'll have to charge it. But that's all pretty good. So I would imagine the vast majority of you guys will just use it with a cable. Same as me, because you're using it with a desktop. I mean, why wouldn't you? But there's certainly going to be people out there that will use it on Bluetooth, and especially if you're going to be traveling or using it with a laptop or something like that, using it on Bluetooth will be much more handy there. So that's good. Around the back, the stands are pretty good. They're a little bit aggressive. I don't think anyone would really have an issue with them, though. It's just sort of a bit of a steep angle on the keyboard with them up. They're not two-stage, which is what we're seeing on more and more now. That would have been nice, but it's not really the end of the world. And design-wise, I think it looks really good in a kind of minimalistic way. It looks just fine. I have no issues with the design. And just like the original Blademaster, I think it's a good keyboard in this aspect. I do prefer full-size ones, but that's more a personal thing. And I know plenty of people like this size of a keyboard. So let's get over to something more important, which is the keys then. So this is coming with Cherry MX switches. And if you guys know me, you know that Cherry MX switches are my absolute favorite. So I got this one with the Cherry MX brown switches, but you can get them in other flavors as well. Blue, black, red, silent red, and the speed switch. So it gives you a good choice there, and those are all the main ones I think most people would be wanting. The browns, I would say, are the best sort of all-rounders. Blues, for me, have always been my absolute favorite. Reds and silent reds, I think those are very good ones for, especially the silent red, if you want a keyboard for work, because even this one with the brown switch, it might be a little loud for some people out there. Depends on your office environment. I would certainly say blues are definitely not for the office unless, I don't know, you're the boss and you want to really piss everyone off. But yeah, I would say for most people, using it at home, the brown switch would be the ideal one. And there are people out there also that like the speed switch, but personally, I'm not a big fan of it. So yeah, good choice of switches there. Cherry MX, made in Germany. They're my favorite. They're very, very nice switches. And it's different from the original Blademaster, the normal Blademaster, which ran the Gateron switches. So I think the Cherry MX ones here are much superior to them. So it's a good upgrade here over the normal one. There's lots of multifunction keys on it as well. That's nice. Of course, you get the Genius knob, which I set up to do multimedia stuff, you know, play, pause, volume up and down, that sort of thing. That's what I like to use it for, but of course you could use it for lots of productivity things or anything like that. It's going to be super handy. It's just going to depend on what you're doing with your computer, but it's nice to have, and you will use it if you set it up right in terms of something handy. So I do like that, and there's plenty of creative people out there that'll find good uses for it. Also, the keycaps feel great. The keyboard just feels really, really nice to type on. I don't have any issues with it there. I don't think most people will either. And yeah, I just enjoyed using it. I've used it for about a week now, and I have no issues with it in terms of typing or anything else. It's just a very, very good keyboard. So let's talk about the lighting. So lighting wise, Drevo, this is quite cool. So it has the light bars around the top and bottom and on the sides. It looks good. It really, really sets it off, especially when it's on your desk. It just looks so good with the lighting. I really do like it. This is a stunning keyboard, and I think anyone who's a fan of RGB would very much like it on their desk. The software is fantastic as well. The animations are really cool. I like that. It's a nice little thing to add it in, and it's a joy to use. There may be a few bugs you might find in the software, but they've told me that they're fixing as many as they can, so you can report it to them if you're having any issues. But personally, I didn't find any issues, and I thought setting up the Genius knob and all the RGB lighting was very easy. There's lots of lighting effects that you can just put on straight away if you don't want to go set up your own ones, which is what I did. So yeah, lighting wise, it's a very, very good looking keyboard. So once again, no issues in this department. Software wise, you may find a few bugs here and there, but rest assured that they'll probably all be gone very soon. Which brings us then to the conclusion, and what do I make of the Drevo Blademaster Pro? So they've positioned this as the ultimate keyboard, and it does a pretty good job of trying to live up to that. Design-wise, it's fantastic, as I've talked about. It looks good, it's nice, the design is good. I would say the only issue is that they don't use any premium materials. That'll be to keep the cost down, which makes sense, but if you're going for the ultimate keyboard, I would say making it out of premium materials would add to that ultimate status, but that's more a personal thing. And also on a personal note, I usually prefer full-size keyboards. But once again, there's plenty of people out there that don't like full-size keyboards, so that's just a personal thing there. As far as typing goes, it's fantastic. Really, really good to type on. I had no issues with it. Nice key switches, Cherry MX. So that's really good, and I think most people out there will really, really like typing on this keyboard. Connectivity-wise, it's great that it has the wired and wireless options. That's really, really nice too, and lighting is superb. It honestly looks really good. So overall, this is an outstanding keyboard. Ultimate, that's a hard thing to live up to, but it's certainly very, very, very good. And I would say if you're interested in a keyboard of this size that ticks a lot of boxes, then definitely pick this guy up. You won't be disappointed. If I was going to recommend a key switch, as I said earlier, I'd probably go for the Browns, but it's really going to depend. If you know your Cherry MX switches, which ones you like or don't like, then obviously that'll make it a lot easier. But if you've never had a mechanical keyboard before, then I would probably recommend going for something like the Brown switch, as I feel in my experience being a tech YouTuber now for, 5 years. Yeah, the Brown is probably the best all-rounder to me. But hey, you guys let me know in the comment section down below which one of the switches they list do you think is the best all-rounder, or which one would you pick? I'd really like to know. Now, I thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe to Tech Showdown if you haven't already, and like the video. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.